welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Part 4. So yeah, in a previous episode, guys, as you guys saw, we had no compression, so it's probably bent valves because the chain was skipped. I skipped the tooth, so yeah. Unfortunately, all this work I've done, it was useless. I mean, at least you guys saw how to do the timing and stuff, if you have a good engine, valves and stuff. But yeah, I did brought the engine last night from my friend. He has a good working engine, but pretty much I'm gonna replace everything, so I'm gonna put it on an engine stand. The engine is completely torn. I mean, besides the head's intact, but everything else is like off. So I'll be probably transferring the guides and all that stuff to that new engine, because I've just put new guides in there. So yeah, pretty much this episode, guys, most likely I'm gonna pull this engine out with the transmission, obviously, then take the transmission out, transfer to that other engine. So I'm gonna pull this engine out, dismantle everything off it, because I'm gonna transfer everything to that other engine, like the covers, guides, and alternator, AC pump, pretty much whole thing, even this air, what do you call it, whatever this thing is, air intake. But yeah, pretty much gonna transfer everything to that other car, the harness and everything. So this just gonna be bare block with heads, that's all. So yeah, I'll be transferring to that other car. So yeah, guys, well, enjoy the episode. We're gonna start tearing this car apart right now, starting now. Let's go. Alright, guys, this side, once you guys take the harness out, then make sure you disconnect the fuel line. So it's that thing right there. I'll show you. Here you go. It was simple as that. So right here, I'll show you guys. So it's a tap, you know, so you press it in, like so, push it in, press it in, and pull it. Simple as that, nothing complicated. So yeah, pretty much this side is all is off, besides small things I'll show you right now. So guys, on the passenger side, make sure you disconnect this. It's a wire that goes to the AC compressor. Here you go. And then make sure you undo that Allen key right there that goes to the AC pump as well. Take that out, then you gotta undo the bolt. It's 17 mil for the motor mount, then it's 13 mil bolt for the ground wire for the engine from the chassis. So once you undo them, those two, it's down there, and undo this, then this side is complete. So we gotta go to that other side and do some stuff there. Alright, guys, now that side is done. Like I said, make sure you undo that. It's actually 16 mil nut for the motor mount. Then it's 13 mil nut for the ground from the chassis. And here, so you wanna disconnect few vacuum lines, and then obviously disconnect two hoses that goes to the heater core. So you disconnect that, then in the bottom undo the 16 mil engine mount bolt nut. As well. Once you undo that, then few more things I'll show you as step by step, and then just you gotta go underneath the car, man. You gotta drop the exhaust, you gotta unhook the drive shaft from the transmission, you gotta undo the transmission mounts, so you can then put the engine puller on top and pull it out, and like few like harnesses and stuff in the bottom of the engine too. But yeah, let me first unhook this stuff. So yeah, you just unhook them, and then I'll show you guys one sec. Okay, so for the lines for the heater core, so pretty much you're gonna disconnect this one from here, and then you have one here that goes bottom of this heater core, which is, if I can show you, down there. So you disconnect that line and this one, then pretty much you good to go on this side. Obviously you all do a nut for the motor mount, then this whole unit gonna come together. So you just unplug this one, then make sure you undo this one, and then you can probably undo it from here. One sec, guys. You just press it, I believe, and then pull it. But yeah, you get the idea. So okay, I'll do it off camera, but yeah, that thing as well. And then pretty much like here you're good to go. You gotta go under the car. So yeah, let me unhook those lines real quick from the heater core. I'll undo the nut for the engine mount. And this, I mean, because I don't have my power steering on, but if you do, you have to disconnect these lines. Then you can pull this out separately, or you can stay whatever. You can pull it out, because I'm gonna pressure wash the engine bay once I pull it out. But yeah, all right. Okay guys, I did disconnect this hose, and then the bottom one I was talking about that goes to the heater core, I did it from here. I'll show you, one sec guys. See, it was easier, like access. So disconnect that, make sure you unhook this one, disconnect, then you have one wire for the sensor, for the oil filter sensor. So disconnect that one, and then, I mean, the tabs, they're broken, so it's gonna come out with this. I did undid the bolt for the mount. I mean, not, I don't know why I'm saying bolt. So pretty much here it's done. Alright guys, so I unattached everything underneath. So that's the motor subframe or support, I mean not the motor, I'm sorry, transmission, and that's the bushings where they're totally destroyed. So I did order new ones, so I've been replacing them. So that's the shield, guys. I did took it out, and exhaust. So pretty much you have to drop the exhaust first, then the shield, then I'll show you underneath if it's not too dark. So pretty much something like this, guys. So you support the transmission. I'll do a light maybe. So you support the transmission with another jack, then you drop the transmission subframe, then obviously you undo the drive shaft, well, from the flex discs. So you gotta undo that. Once you undo that, also don't forget to detach the gear leveler, the line that attaches to the transmission. It's a 13mm nut and a clip. You take that out, and also there is a, I believe, a wire from the starter goes and connects to the chassis underneath the transmission. It's a 13mm nut as well, so you undo that too. So it's fully detached right now. Pretty much I'm gonna put the puller, get the chains. So that's the mounting points right here. So one and one, I believe, right here. It's a little darker, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna put a chain. I'll start lifting the motor, and just in case, guys, I'll probably take this reservoir out for the power steering, so it's not on my way, because it's gonna come out with this line. So, and this, just take it out just in case. Anyways, we're gonna wash this, put it together. But yeah, pretty much, guys, it's not too complicated. But yeah, I mean, it is a big job, to be honest. I thought it was just a simple fix initially when I bought the car. Then it turned out to be a bigger job. The guides, well, I've did that, and then turned out to be an even bigger job. Oh my gosh, it's been like a roller coaster, this car. So, but it's okay. I enjoy it. I like wrenching on cars. So, but yeah, enough talking, guys. Well, right now I'm gonna pull the motor, and then we're gonna continue more. Alright, that's how you take the motor out, guys. I mean, you probably need another person to help. It was my dad. So we pulled the motor out. I do have the block here, so I'll be restoring. This is all good, so pretty much everything new gonna be here. But yeah, the engine is out, so all the guides and stuff, it's gonna go in there, like the covers. I mean, it's all new gaskets too, so yeah. Well, yeah, I'll be probably reusing this manifold. I'll be using the headers because that one was missing. I just got the bare block, but it's good engine though. So yeah, I'm gonna push this back to my backyard and probably clean all this. Yep. Alright guys, so this Batmobile is out. That's my main project, to be honest. Look at it. Comparing this, right? So yeah, I'll be posting more. I have more stuff going on with this. I took the seats out because I found another set. But yeah, oh yeah, we have the cluster too, and whole thing. And it's converted to Ziptronic too. Well, this is IL. Yeah, has full 750 brake conversion. I mean, it's dark, so yeah, as you can see, it has 750 high glass trim. Yep, you guys be seeing more about this soon, pretty soon. I have big plans for this coming up, but yeah. Okay, off track. Alright guys, look what I found. That's crazy. Let me zoom in. Do you see this? Man, every single valve is bent, like bad. Like you can see it actually. So pretty much guys, I did tear this motor apart. The one I took it out, I mean, I took this block, I mean the cylinder head out as well. Same story as this one. The valves, they're bent. I don't know, maybe you can see it from here, but maybe not. It's too dark probably. But yeah, I took this one out too. I flipped it over. It's pretty much here too. Every valves, they're bent besides well, I don't know, it was in cylinder 2 or 5, depends, but that was the only pretty much bank the valves wasn't bent. That's why I had compression on that one, but like the rest of it and here, as you can saw, it's bad, really bad. I mean, of course I wonder why it doesn't have any compression, but no worries. I got here all cleaned up and nice. New motor with around 140,000 miles on it. It's confirmed. So yeah, so pretty much all the good stuff I'm gonna transfer here. The funny thing is, I pulled that sprocket off from this motor and put it there, so that one it's no good. So that now I have to pull it out, put it here, back here. So well, of course I'm gonna transfer all these new guides that I've put in here, so I'm gonna transfer in here so I know it's gonna be solid. So yeah, I took the upper oil pan too. I just want to make sure everything is nice, change every single gasket and seal so it's nice and clean, tidy, and I know it's not gonna leak anything, and put it together. So yeah, this one I know for a fact that here I'm not, because I'm not gonna do all this work and put the engine on and have a bad motor. This one I'm confirmed, so it's good block with heads, has compression, no bent valves, nothing. So pretty much I'm gonna transfer everything here and change all the gaskets and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna even change all the exhaust gaskets and whatever I can change pretty much. Yeah, so let the fun begin. So probably, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'll probably won't show how to put the chains and put the sprocket in, because I've showed you guys on part 3, so I feel like it's useless showing again. You guys, if you're interested in that, you guys can go rewatch it. But since the engine is on stand, I'll show you in detail how to put the timing correctly, because on the previous episode I know I just set the timing up because I got carried away, didn't film, and I just showed you guys how to, like, after I set it up I showed you guys what to do. But here I'll try to actually go step by step. But yeah, so for now let me just put the sprocket and like the bottom end with the oil pump and stuff and the chains, and then for the rest of it I'll show you what to do. Yeah, like the knock sensors, I'm gonna put this valley, pan gasket, the covers, manifold, pretty much all the cooling system, because like if you see in the back, so we have this 2 pipes go in the middle, and so like replacing all these gaskets and everything. Yeah, so I know this time it's good. But yeah, all the parts here. It looks scary and such a mess, but nothing I haven't done before. So thank you again, guys, for watching. Stick around, we're gonna have some fun here. All right, guys, process so far. I just want to update real quick. So I've installed the oil pump with the chain and the gear, and the slack is good, adjusted. The oil tube is in. Then obviously I installed the valley pan with the cover, knock sensors are in, and then water pump lines, and with the new outlet gaskets, and pretty much all getting cleaned and stuff. So next step, I'm wash this manifold, and then of course change the gaskets and stuff and get it nice and clean and mount in here. Once I mount the manifold, then I'm gonna most likely start assembling the guides with the chain. Yeah, it's coming along. Super nice and clean. Oh yes. Okay, guys, as you can saw, I did put the guides on, put the chain. Obviously you gotta loosen these bolts, so they're loose. I got the Vano solenoids, front cover with the seal. It's all in place. I have this tool to keep the tension on the chain. But yeah, so pretty much I'm almost ready to time the engine. I do have to put the flywheel, which it goes in here, but in order to do that I gotta take this engine off the stand with this jack so I can put the flywheel in. Once I put the flywheel in, then I can start timing the motor. So we're close, we're almost there. But yeah, once I time the motor, then I can start putting this upper oil pan, then the lower oil pan, then the front covers, and then well, this oil rails as well, and then some spark plugs, pop the valve covers on, and marry the transmission, and then put it inside the car and give it a crank. Yeah, okay guys, let me probably put the flywheel in, and then I'll show you guys how to time it. Okay, alright guys, so the motor is nearly complete. It's set for timing, so I did drop the motor, put the I put the oil pans and stuff, so I put the flywheel. So pretty much what you want to do once, so we're gonna put this pulley obviously temporarily. So if you can see it, see this OT, and it has a OT in the cover. So you line this two up, right? Once you line them up, you have a pin. So the pin, it goes in here, so pretty much behind the motor. So it's because the motor is dropped, I can't show really well, but the transmission is out. Anyways, once you line that pulley with the engine cover, the OT, so you should have a pin in your toolkit. So you stick that pin through that hole on the other side of the engine. So once the flywheel, the crank, is locked in position, what you want to do is, well, obviously remove the rails, but loosen these bolts, right? So they're all loose. So once you loosen those bolts, then next step you want to do, you have spots on your camshafts, one right here, and for the exhaust is here. So what you want to do, you want to rotate them, right? Once you rotate them, see these numbers right here? So make sure they're facing up. Then you have this kind of toolkit which has exactly the same numbers, right? So this, the A side goes to the passenger side, and the E side, it goes to the driver's side. And what you want to do is make sure you're gonna line them up, right, so it sits properly. To make it sit properly, what you want to do is, so one second guys, so you're gonna obviously play around, right? So you grab this, then you twist a little bit, see if it sits properly. Guys, sorry, I'm trying to film, do it at the same time, but yeah, so you gotta make sure it sits like this. It's a little dark, I'm sorry guys, but yeah, and same goes this side. So you gotta play with it, adjust this, right? So adjust this a little bit, so make sure it goes in a position. So make sure once you do it, see right now it's not sitting properly, it should sit flat. So you get that. Let me do this real quick. Once I get this and the other side, I'll show you the next step. So when you guys lock this in position, so make sure it sits, you lock this bolt so it's flush, right? So I've locked them in position. So this number right here, E38, should match with this E58. Same goes here, it's A58, it's A58. Same goes on the other side, it's flash with the head. So this number, so E14, same in here, it's E14, and A14, A14. So pretty much the camshafts, they're locked in position. Next step, what you want to do is, see, that's why we loosen these bolts, right, for the camshafts. So you should have this kind of tool with notches. So if you can see, it has holes in there, so that's for the vanos adjustment. So you put this tool in here, it's 24 mil. Let me get this real quick. So once you put that tool in, now what you want to do is pretty much crank this clockwise like this all the way, so you shouldn't able to move. So it's all cranked clockwise. So same goes here. Let me put this on. Once we put this thing on, same goes to this side. Make sure it's all locked, like I said, counterclockwise, not clockwise, so you spin to the left, I mean counterclockwise. So yeah, and next step, what you want to do, you want to get multimeter, put it on a beeping setting. I'll show you. Then you have 3 pins here, and what you want to do, you want to test if it's gonna beep. That means the Vanos system is in correct position as well. So then you're gonna fasten these bolts, right? They go counterclockwise as well. So let me show you guys. Let me get the multimeter. Alright guys, so you get a multimeter, right? I have this kind, so you put it on a beep mode. So just to verify, you touch them together so it beeps. Okay, now what you want to do is pretty much put this aside somewhere. So grab the negative terminal, put it like on a bolt here, and touch this 3 small pins, right? See if it's gonna beep. Do you hear that? It's beeping. So go to the next one. Hold on. Yeah, we got a beep. Go to the bottom one. We got a beep. So that means the Vanos is correct. Obviously verify the other side too, same way. It should beep as well. Once they're verified in timing, now after what you want to do, you want to lock this camshaft bolts. So they do go counterclockwise as well. For the intake side is 82 pounds, and for the exhaust side it's 92. The way you lock it, pretty much, well, it's T55, so you get like a wrench. So set it to 82 pounds, and then you remember I showed you the spots how to like rotate the camshaft. So you stick a wrench in there, you hold the camshaft, then you torque it to spec. Once you torque all, then I'm gonna show you more stuff, because you need one more step to set the timing. And then obviously we're gonna take all this gear off. We're gonna spin the engine twice. Then we're gonna put all the tools back on and see if it's all lined up. If it's all lined up, that means we have correct timing. Okay, let me guys real quick torque them to spec, and then I'll show you what's the next step. So after you guys torque the bolts, which I did, then double check with the multimeter again. They should beep. If they beep, they're set, good to go. And of course guys, make sure when you do all this work, I forgot to mention, you have, so the chain needs to be in tension. So you do have a tool in your toolkit that keeps the guide on tension, the chain. So make sure you have that on before you do anything. But yeah, once you get that beeping noise, you lock the cranks and fasten the bolts to spec. Next step, what you want to do, pretty much you have this kind of toolkit that goes in here. I'm gonna put, because you're gonna have reflectors. Let me go get that real quick. So it's in here, so pretty much it goes in here, and you have to adjust it with that toolkit too. Once you fasten the toolkit right here, use like this bolts from the cover, and once you attach this, so the toolkit has this kind of nudge here. So this, see, it has a hole in there, should pretty much line up like this. So it's something like this. So this mounts to the side of the engine, and then like this 24 mil, it's fastens counterclockwise as well. It's 42 pounds of torque. So once you put this on both sides, don't mix these plates up because the driver's side is different from the passenger side. So we're gonna put them on to fasten them, and then we're gonna take everything out, like the tool kit, and then we'll give it a spin like twice and line the crank again, put the pin, and then put all the tools back on and see if it lines up. Yep. Okay guys, so when everything is complete, it should look something like this. So we did make sure they're attached properly, it doesn't move. So it's a little dark, but if you can see this notch right here, it's inside the hole. This is already torqued to 42 pounds. Like I said, same with this side, is solid. This is in there. So we got the temporary tensioner. So here, right, it's all in place. We got these blocks here and obviously the pin for the crank. So now we're gonna take all these tools out, and we, like I said a million times, we're gonna spin the crank, and if everything is correct, technically everything should line up. I should able to put everything in place with no problem. So yeah, let's give it a try. So guys, we did 2 full rotations. We insert the pin back, like you saw, it's lined up perfectly. The block is in perfectly, the pin is in place. And for this side, guys, so once you spin it, this cam lines up, right, and this one's a little off. Don't be scared, that's how it used to be. I mean, that's how you supposed to be, because when you turn the ignition on, this Vanos, hey, adjust this, it's adjusting, so it's the timing. So as long as this side lines up, right? One sec, guys. It's difficult filming and doing this. For this side, guys, what you want to do, get that wrench, right? And just, that's fine, guys, don't be scared. You align it, hold on, you put it in place. Now we're gonna lock this. Where is it? It's right here. So as you can see, it's perfectly flat. So let's lock this. It's locked, and then this thing, let me fasten this, right? Perfect. So see that notch there? It lined up with the hole, and that's how you guys set the timing. And then, guys, if you want, just with the multimeter, with the beeping mode, just verify this again. It should beep. So I'll probably do this off camera, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna beep because the timing is correct. Okay, since you verified the timing is correct, you can remove those blocks. If you want, you can just give it a try one more time, spin it and put those things on and see if it's gonna line up again. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna line up. And then of course, then rest you can assemble. On my previous video I showed you guys how, like the front covers and stuff. Probably show you this side again, because you gotta do with the zip tie. You gotta hold this guide so it doesn't drop. Gotta zip tie it, put the cover, put the original tensioner, and then cut the zip tie. But for this side, it's, I mean, you don't have to do that because you don't have a tensioner there. So yeah, and yeah, and then I'm gonna just assemble rest of it, and once it's all assembled complete, I'll guys show you how this engine gonna look like and if it's gonna start. I mean, to be honest, we can check for compression right now. Let me remove this gears, and I'm gonna press this paper towels in really hard inside, and I'm gonna give it like good spins and see if it's gonna shoot the towels. I mean, that's not how you check the compression, but in theory it should do that, because if it has good compression, I'm sure it does. Okay, let's see it. Okay, let me remove this real quick. Yeah guys, as you can guys saw how it was shooting up those paper towels, so it has good compression. I mean, that's like an old school method to check, but obviously check with the correct tool. But this is just for fun. But yeah, I'm happy. It has compression, timing is set. Okay guys, so I put the front cover, the upper cover, so it's on zip tie right now, the tensioner, I mean the guide. So that's the new tensioner, and make sure you got a washer in there. Okay, don't forget that, otherwise it's gonna leak. It's a 19 mil bolt, so it goes from the side. As you can see it's going leaning against the tensioner there. Now we're gonna fasten it. So it's like I said, let me get this, it's 19 mil. So we're gonna fasten this real quick. Alright, it's fully fastened now. Going to cut this zip tie. Okay, now we're gonna pull it out. But anyways, you get the idea guys. I'm gonna pull this zip tie out and then we get to go. Alright guys, quick update. So in the front, pretty much, I mean, I still have to do a few more things, but it started looking like a motor now. So on the top, so for the oil rails, make sure this, like, it has little dots, they face forward. So but the top is done. Pretty much I have to put the valve covers on. And in front, I gotta like put the pulley for the crank, pulley for the water pump, and then I gotta put the belt tensioners, one for the AC and one for the serpentine belt. And then I also have to put the power steering pump underneath. But pretty much is done. I mean, I have put all the mounts. I mean, I still have to put the headers on, but I mean, overall it's solid. So yeah, just like a few more things, and then I'm gonna pressure wash the transmission tomorrow probably and marry them together, and then she's ready to go in. Oh yeah, almost there. Alright guys, so pretty much the motor is fully assembled. I mean, well, besides the serpentine belt and the AC belt, I'll put that later on, but every component been installed. Valve cover's been installed, coils, sparks, wiring, the exhaust manifold and transmission. Pretty much everything is installed. When you install the transmission back on, make sure you put the torque converter bolts there. 17 mil bolts, 4 of them. You go pretty much. See that black? So that black rubber plug, you take that out. You put them on from there. I mean, you twist the crank obviously to line the holes. But yeah, oh guys, it's been a process. Hopefully she's gonna run. I know for a fact it has good compression. I mean, everything else seems fine. I've checked with the what do you call it, with the camera on my scanner. I've checked the bores, the cylinder holes, through the spark plug holes. They seemed in good condition, so I should run. Fingers crossed, right? But yeah guys, I think I'm gonna finish this episode here. So in the next episode I'll be installing the motor and see if it's gonna run, but for this one we're done pretty much. So if you guys please could subscribe, like, share, whatever, it helps really. It's been a massive project, so yeah, thank you guys, and see you next time. Peace.